Okay, welcome. Thank you, Cam, for joining me.
Yeah.
How's your year been so far?
Uh, it's been pretty good. Just moved in with the girlfriend,
Nice.
and like tomorrow, I think we're trying to start back at the gym. It's
Oh,
been
cool.
like a year.
Which gym?
We live like right next to the Planet Fitness.
Oh, okay.
We live on like 47 South.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So we're gonna check that. See, I'm afraid their equipment might be dilapidated.
Ah,
So.
yeah. Yeah. So depending on how long some of those places have been open.
Yeah.
I go to the one that's just like down the street.
Just like
By the
is
Valley
that
Fair.
Planet Fitness?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm. So if you ever want to go,
Yeah.
I'm always there like throughout the week,
Cool.
like after work. Anything new going on besides that?
Not super. I mean, the newest thing that we're still trying to get used to is we recently adopted a new dog.
Oh, cool. What kind of dog is it?
She's like a chocolate lab mix.
Oh, cute.
She's 6 years old. We wanted to get something in the range of what our other dog is,
Yeah.
7. So
Nice. I like that. What goals are you working towards so far this year?
I've been taking a course lately for cybersecurity. I want to get in a new career path.
Nice.
I did not want to stay at the post office. It
Yeah.
felt a little, for lack of a better word, kind of dead-endish for
Yeah.
me. So,
Like, want something more for yourself?
yeah, for sure.
Anything you've learned so far?
Oh, I've learned a ton. I've learned currently I'm learning Python coding.
Oh, cool.
And before that, I learned about like SQL
Yeah,
and
the
Linux.
database. Yeah.
So it was a lot of stuff I didn't really know before.
Yeah.
So.
All that stuff is like scratching the surface, really cool to learn, but
Mhm.
once you get in depth, it can feel
Oh,
overwhelming at
I
times.
can already see that happening. It's like this is something completely new to me, but like the course keeps on telling me, like, yeah, there's a lot to learn here. So
Yeah. Kind of broad knowledge of what you're learning so far.
uh, it's super basic, just kind of like querying the database to find like certain files.
Yeah.
And really basic Python coding, just
Nice.
like basically having it.
Do you have like a dream of what you want to do after you finish school and
mean,
stuff?
Because right now it's just an online course. It's
Yeah.
like a Google certificate
Oh, okay.
course.
Yeah. You where you like want to get started?
Not really. I mean, it would be great if I could get some like a more stable company or something that
Yeah.
I could feel a little bit more secure in.
Yeah.
But
Sure,
I mean,
me
I'll-
and
I'll-
Richie could probably talk you into about a dozen type of jobs out there.
yeah, I mean,
Stuff's really cool.
honestly, anything to get my foot in the door at
Yeah.
first, just get a little bit of experience, even if it's not like a really established company. It's
Yeah,
just-
kind of just somewhere.
yeah.
What drives you to get up every morning?
Oh man, just looking towards the future, man. Like this girl I'm with, I really like her.
Yeah,
And,
she seems really nice.
Yeah, she makes me want to be a better person, get
That's good.
something going for ourselves.
Yeah,
And I mean, just my grandparents too. I mean, I know they always wanted the best for me, so I want to show them that.
you're doing great.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, especially
Well, I'm proud of you.
thank you. Especially my remaining living one,
Yeah,
the Rob.
Rob Meister.
I want him to know that everything's going well.
Yeah,
So
I like that. That's good. Yeah, I want to talk to him some more.
yeah.
Be cool.
I mean, you might be able to get him here.
Yeah, yeah,
Except for he'd probably be like, "What's all this?"
yeah. Just want to hear more of his stories
Oh man,
of his youth.
got tons of them.
Yeah. Do you have any childhood memories that bring you happiness? Anything?
Oh, I mean, I got plenty. I mean, as weird as much as it is with people saying like stuff with their parents, it was always grandparents for me. I mean,
Nice.
to be completely honest, my mom I can tell that she tried her best, but she was never in
Yeah.
like a super stable position, and especially being on disability her whole life. So
Yeah, it makes
my
sense.
grandparents were always my rocks.
Yeah.
And
Great people.
oh,
Hilarious.
yeah. They were some of the best. And just a lot of times, going out fishing with Rob, and
Yeah.
just even some of the talks I had with Faith sitting
Yeah.
at the fireplace or whatever. It was
Those like memories I remember very fondly of, like when I would come over just to hang out, we'd watch a movie and she'd just like ask us questions about what's going on, or
Oh, yeah.
what, just wanting to know more about our lives.
she was always very involved with
Yeah.
the people around.
Yeah, came over.
Yeah.
Door was always open for us to just come in, hang out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
She was a very people oriented person, and I mean Rob to a lesser extent he was more just about the joking,
Yeah.
just making fun.
Yeah. Very kind spirited.
Oh yeah.
How do you spend your free time?
Right now, I mean, my free time some of it goes to the course. I don't want to like overload myself, because
Yeah.
I take notes. Like, they have a weird system on Coursera. If you've done it, it's they have a way where you can like clip the video you're watching for your own notes,
Oh, cool.
but I don't retain it as well if I do it like that. So I
Yeah.
have my own notebook that I'm writing stuff down in to help
Retain
solidify
it.
it.
Yeah. Man, going back to school and stuff is hard just because of learning. Everyone
Oh.
learns so different. And
Oh yeah.
I did struggle a bit with my online courses just because I had to apply it myself.
Mm-hmm.
And some of the computer stuff, as you learn more advanced stuff, it's harder to watch a video and try to just like, okay, this is what I learned. How do I apply it to this scenario without asking, like, not being able to ask for help, and then attending class and just talking to the instructor. But a lot of that stuff is very self-learned. And how do you think through troubleshooting? Like, it gets easier the more you do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, luckily I have talked with Randy about some of it, because he's pretty fluent in a lot of that stuff. So
Yeah.
he's told me, like, if you start having like some difficulties, you can come talk to me, and
Yeah.
I can share some of my experience with you. So I think that's a pretty invaluable resource.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of us kind of share similar things with computers and what we want and like our field of knowledge. Mine's very troubleshoot oriented with the stuff I use at work. But a lot of stuff I wish I still had knowledge of with cybersecurity
Yeah.
and like system administration. Very different applying it in real life instead of like this hypothetical situation.
Yeah.
But I think that stuff's really fun once you understand how it works.
Well, and it's kind of crazy, because one of the things I've learned in this course is how many different fields there are with cybersecurity.
Yeah.
Like, even though a lot of people go under the same job title of security analyst, there's like 7 or 8 different fields inside that job title
Yeah.
that all encompass different parts. There's like the actual like architecture of things, then there's like a software programming side,
Yeah, definitely.
like actual like response team side.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different stuff that goes into that.
Especially implementing like a business and their application does have their own security for data they get from user application and stuff.
Well, and then a lot of stuff has been changing slowly. Like, it went from like physical server side at the location into cloud databases.
Yeah,
so
the
that's
cloud
like
stuff.
a whole new field of
Yeah.
cybersecurity.
It's always changing. What are some of your hobbies and how did you get into them?
Oh, I mean, the most basic first hobby I have is games.
Yeah.
Of course. I got into that really young, around 4, maybe even before that.
Do you remember your first game?
Oh, man. One of my first games that comes to memory was when my mom was living with her boyfriend at the time. We were living in some apartments.
Yeah.
We had just gotten a PS2, and I played this PS2 game called, I think it was just called Bouncer.
Oh yeah, the bouncer.
Yeah, the bouncer.
Yeah.
And I remember I thought that was one of the coolest things ever. Just
Yeah, the
a
character.
random, like, yeah, the characters were made to be like these like really cool,
Very anime-ish, like
like
fighter.
edgy guys
Yeah.
and stuff. Except for there was one of them that almost reminds me of like Sora
Yeah.
from Kingdom Hearts.
Yep.
Like, but I just thought, that was one of my first beat 'em ups and stuff, running
Yeah.
around just in this open area fighting. But even before that, I actually remember on PS1 I would play Final Fantasy VII.
Nice.
I couldn't even read.
Yeah, yeah, it's weird to like not fully understand the story as a kid, but you're just like kind of just jamming through what you know, like applying how do I play a game and leveling up and doing all of that.
Well, and I remember it would make my Uncle John really mad because I didn't know what to do, where to go, because I couldn't read it.
Yeah.
So I'd always be asking him, like, oh, where do I go? Where do I go? And then he'd be all like, if you can't read this stuff, you shouldn't even be playing it. And I was like, but it looks so fun.
Yeah. That's funny. What skills are you proud of?
Oh, man. I mean, are we just talking like any skills?
Any skill, yeah.
Okay. I mean, personally, I feel like I can be proud of like some of my own personal skills, such as like patience and stuff. I've grown up fishing my whole life, and
Yeah.
that's helped to like incorporate it into my life. I feel like I'm a very patient person. I'm also, I mean, it doesn't sound good when I talk about myself like this, but like I also feel like I'm a fairly understanding and kind person. But like if we go to more practical skills and stuff, like, I mean, I'm proud of the skills I'm learning right now
Yeah,
with
for
the
sure.
courses, and like actually like my desire to better myself and not find myself in situations that other people I know have
Yeah.
experienced. So
I mean, I would say those are great skills. Like being patient, I feel like is hard for some.
oh yeah.
Just to not let it like overwhelm you. You kind of just think through whatever situation you're going through.
Well, you got to realize when, I mean, it's not all the time, but most of the time you have more time than you think. You got to use it wisely. You don't want to be overthinking things. You don't want to just jump into things. You
Yeah.
got to prepare yourself a little bit and just just use your time correctly. Like,
It's a very common thing with a lot of people I've talked to. It's just like being able, as you get older, you appreciate time more
yeah.
valuable. Like
well,
a
it
resource
just
you
it starts
can't
going
get back.
by fast too. And
Yeah.
like you start losing time.
Yeah. Like
So,
there's plenty of things I wish I could go back to and do,
Oh,
or
man.
like relive, or just having more time with my friends. Like
Yeah.
that's what I miss the most. Of
Yeah.
like looking back of the stuff we used to do when we were all closer together, playing video games and stuff.
well, and then like people start to drift, like
Yeah.
just naturally from whatever
life.
situations they find themselves in, just
Yeah.
work or whatever. They start to move away, move to different states, or just they start to lose time for what they loved. And
Yep.
it sucks.
It's
but
rough, man.
It's just part of life. I mean,
Yeah. I mean, I'd like to do another video game tournament
oh
here.
man,
That's like my plan, is to find a day where everyone is available and just do the same thing with like those silly trophies or like a belt.
man, I feel like last time we did that was when like you and John were living, you and like Herm were
Yeah.
living in that place, and we had that tournament back then.
Yeah.
It's been a long time.
Too long. It's fun just because like there isn't really any way to be more knowledgeable in those games. I just pick them at random and find a way to challenge everyone as like equal.
Well, and it was a good way that you guys used to do it. Like you take, like a game from each genre or whatever. Because,
Yeah.
if you just go completely random, then there's a good chance that somebody's going to just have the edge.
Dominate.
Like,
Yeah.
So it's good to have, like, every time we would do retro, like have the retro game on the side, like Michael or
Yeah.
you or John or somebody would be just whooping everybody in it.
Yeah. It's funny because like a lot of the times when we would do it, it was just like of an idea, and then it would build upon that, just bouncing back and forth, and then get everyone together. And then also mixing in the smash bets on the side.
Oh yeah.
That's always like a easy way to like get people to just hang out. Like you don't have to play a game. And then the high score stuff or the fighting game. And then overall, the last thing to do is play Bomberman. It's such like a silly way.
Classic,
Yeah.
man. Bomberman that's the way to go.
Like I like building up to top 4, and then if you lose first, even if you won every single game, if you lose first, you're just 4th. Like
Yeah.
the randomness at the end is so good. Any current events or causes you're passionate about?
I mean, to be completely honest, I don't follow a lot of stuff currently. Like,
That's okay.
I know, as goofy as it is, Ruth, my girlfriend, she more follows like the weird, random like YouTube drama stuff. So I get a lot of that, and then
yeah.
when I go and visit the house, I'll hear more about like the politics and stuff.
Yeah.
Rob and Ben get into that especially when sports isn't going on like right now. So
The in between,
yeah,
something to talk about. Yeah.
but
That's how I feel about, I don't know, political stuff is such a hot topic all the time that I
It
try to just
is.
like stay away from it because it's not good for anyone.
well, and that's honestly where I find myself is now the biggest topic in the place I'm living is some random YouTuber crap. I'm just like, I'm a lot happier for it.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like, this is so inconsequential stuff. Like,
Yeah. That's funny. How do you unwind after a hectic day?
oh, as of late, like after a long day of like going out and like doing the grocery shopping and stuff, since I'm just doing the course and doing some course, usually after Ruth gets off work, we'll sit down and either play like some Marvel Rivals lately. We've been doing some of that, or
That's what Michael's doing right now.
oh, is he?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll either play some of that, or there's a couple shows that we've been bouncing off. Like I never watched House before. She
Oh,
kinda
okay.
has, so
Yeah.
I've been watching a little bit of House, and oh, there was something else we were watching. She wants to start up on Arcane because Maria and Nikki and the people at Magic Night have been
Yeah.
watching it, so she's like, we gotta watch it so we can
Gotta
get in
watch
on the conversation.
Yeah. I'm excited for the Final Fantasy Magic stuff coming out.
Man, everybody, that's as soon as they leaked the first few cards,
Yeah.
Magic Night just blew up over.
I think I might start going to
Maria's.
Magic Night once those come out.
Yeah, I mean they
Give
got
me a
those
good reason.
pre-cons.
Yeah.
so-
I have some of that stuff pre-ordered, and I'm like, now's a good time. Like I always say, I'm gonna I'll think about it. It would be the perfect time to get right back into playing Magic again.
Oh yeah, I mean, it sucks for like me and Paul and stuff because we really want to buy that stuff, and right now, like with pre-order prices, it's looking like we're gonna be paying around $450 a box.
Yeah,
So
it's insane.
It's gonna
Yeah,
be real expensive.
yeah. I had thought about like getting a booster box, but still on the fence.
Oh,
Like
man.
I'd have to like
You got to start
be
saving now.
be invested in it. Like, any book or movie that has left a lasting impression on you?
Oh gosh, book or movie? I mean, I've read a few novels, but not recently. I think most of them are just kind of adventure-y, not
Okay.
like super deep. But there are movies that I enjoyed like so much and thought that watching it like this is what they should be. I mean, I'm always a really big fan of like heist movies and stuff.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And honestly, like between like The Town and Baby Driver and stuff like that, I mean, they have left their own kind of message with me of kind of like there's always a way out,
Mm.
and like almost like perseverance in a way, you know, like somebody's gonna have your back.
Yeah.
It's it's a little oh man, what's the word? It's they're the message in the movies is a little, you know, up for
Yeah. Interpretation.
and
Yeah.
but that's kind of what I pulled out of them. Like,
Nice. Yeah. I like that. Who do you look up to and why?
oh man, I mean, honestly, my whole life I've kind of looked up to my uncle. I've always looked up to John. He's always done things right in my eyes. And,
Yeah.
I mean, he's built a life for himself now.
Yeah, that's crazy. I was talking to him recently.
I look at his situation. I'm like, he's got a house. He's got a family.
Yeah.
he's-
Living in a different country.
yeah. I mean, the different country thing. That's you know, that's for if you that's what you want, then swing for the fences on it.
Yeah.
I don't think I would actually want to live in a different country, maybe a different state,
Mhm.
but just he's always done things like pretty straightforward, and he's achieved what he wanted.
Yeah. Had a goal in mind.
Always a goal in mind, you
Yeah.
know, just
Especially like while he was in school doing language stuff. And
oh man, I have such a hard time with language stuff. I started trying that Duolingo back when I was in Japan visiting him, and I kept it going for 2 years on there. And
Oh, wow.
I still feel like I don't know a lot
Yeah.
when it comes to the language. I'm like,
Yeah.
I know a couple words and maybe phrases, but
enough to just barely get you by,
oh
but not
boy,
like.
I don't even know. I still wouldn't be comfortable going alone in Japan. Somebody would stop and ask me like, "How are you?" And I'd
Yeah.
be like, mm.
Yeah. Height. That's it.
Yeah, the height.
What's an experience that significantly shaped who you are today?
Honestly, I think with that I'd have to go when I broke my knee initially. You know, it took a lot of opportunities away from me because I was so young, and like if I ever wanted to do sports or anything really physically active, you know, that was kind of out of the picture after that because it was such a bad break.
Yeah.
So kind of circling back, it kind of showed me that I need to, you know, be ready. I have to be willing to make changes.
Yeah, as they come.
Yeah, I have to be patient. I have to, you know, I had to let myself heal.
Yeah.
And it's another thing with time. It's just, you know, I can't go back and stop it. I got to live with what happened, and
Yeah.
I just got to make the best out of what I have.
Yeah. That's a good message. I
Yeah.
like that. Do you have any achievements that you're proud of?
I mean, honestly, I was not a good student back in high school in 9th grade. I hated school so
Yeah.
much. Like, I didn't make a lot of connections in school, and I missed a lot of class.
Yeah.
I just stayed home a lot. Would rather play games or whatever.
Yeah.
So honestly, when I really buckled down in 9th grade and made it to graduate, I was pretty proud of that.
That's
that
great.
Was probably like
I mean,
my
that
top.
takes a lot of work. Some people just don't. They don't care. And then
Yeah, I was pretty far behind. I had to do like some makeup packets and stuff to get my last couple of credits that I needed because yeah, I was just skirting by a lot of the time. And I mean, yeah, I mean that's probably one of the things I was just like super happy to be able to do, walking across the stage and stuff, just like, oh, I did it.
I love that. That's great. If you could have dinner with any 3 people, dead or alive, who would they be, and what would you go eat?
Oh boy, that's a rough one.
If you can't think of 3, I'm fine with just one.
Oh, I'll try thinking of 3. Oh boy. I mean, okay. My first one, I think, I've always loved him, and after Paul met him, it solidified. I think Jeff Goldblum.
Oh, cool.
one of my tops because he just seems like a very down to earth, like
Yeah, very
chill guy. And Paul
funny.
did meet him, and he was
charismatic.
very, very much so.
Yeah.
So I think he would for sure be one because I also think he could blend well with like anybody.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, if we could get rid of the language barrier, I think I would enjoy to dine and talk with like maybe the like Hideo Kojima.
Oh, yeah.
I think he would be really cool because he's
Such a
got a lot of unique
brilliant
ideas,
mind.
and yeah, he is brilliant. I've enjoyed like all of his games that he's ever
Good
been
answer.
a part of.
Yeah.
But language barrier.
Yeah,
I gotta have a translator with him or something. Is that gonna be my third?
Yeah.
And oh man, a third. Because I mean, those two are already like pretty opposite.
Yeah. Man, could you imagine the conversations like just already with that? Like,
Just with those two,
Yeah.
that combination, I bet you it would just be the most
you'd see.
random, pleasant. Just,
Yeah.
I don't think either of them would really understand a lot about each other's industries, but
You'd be the person to set up Jeff Goldblum to be in his next game.
yeah, like, hey, Kojima.
Yeah.
I mean, I know you like Norman Reedus.
Yeah.
But this guy right here.
Yeah.
He got all the ladies swooning back in the 90s. Oh, okay. Let's see. The third. That's really tough. Well, I also feel like my mind is having a hard time getting out of like you're just like when you think of famous people, like I'm having a
Yeah.
hard time straying away from actors and
Yeah.
stuff, and I need to think outside the box on this a little bit more. Oh man,
Anyone in history you could think of?
in history, that's a good show.
Or a musician?
That's kind of what I was trying to think, because honestly, my favorite like band has always been like my favorite band has always been Slipknot, but I think somebody I would like to talk to over a meal would be Mike Judge.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Because I love a lot of his work and
Yeah.
shows and stuff. He did something recently that I watched. I cannot think of what it was, but when the credits rolled, we were like, "Oh, it's Mike Judge."
Oh, wow.
Like,
Yeah.
okay. If I remember it, I'll bring it up. But okay, and then what would we be eating?
Yeah. Either you can go somewhere if you want to make food.
I mean, I would be kind of embarrassed to try to make food for these three people. So I think I'd want to take them somewhere. I don't know, maybe just, I mean, if they're coming to visit me, I'll just take them out to like the Pie or something. Just
yeah,
get a
some
nice,
pizza.
good pizza.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody can be too unhappy with pizza.
Yeah, pizza's a good answer. If you could be any hero or villain, who would you be?
Who would I be?
Yeah.
Oh man, we're digging deep here. Hero or villain?
You can choose both if you want to.
Well, no, I'm just trying to
Narrow down.
think of whose goal was, justified if in villains or like, like when you wrote this question, what did you have in mind? Like,
I was thinking, for me, it'd be nice, it'd be fun to be a villain, just because you could just start destroying or doing whatever you want, and that's you're just a villain. Like,
okay, but you're asking like in specific, like a name for a hero or a villain.
Could be anyone. Yeah, like any known hero or villain, or if you.
How about I go anti-hero? Because
Yeah, that works
I've
too.
always really liked, well, especially after the TV show, I always really enjoyed the Punisher.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I thought he was, you know,
Purpose.
he made sure he was justified in what he was doing. He wasn't trying to apologize for himself, but
Yeah.
he also kind of had his own. Like I could always respect that he had his moral compass.
Yeah.
And
Wasn't just
acted
killing
upon
just
it.
because.
Yeah, exactly. So like he wasn't the greatest guy. He's not like Batman level. Trying
Yeah.
to make people pay by society standards. He's judging himself. So
Nice. What's one thing most people don't know about you?
oh man. I mean, I don't know. Probably a lot of people don't know that I never really knew. I never really knew my dad. Like I grew up without. You know, my grandpa was kind of a father figure, but
Yeah.
I never grew up with like the norm.
Yeah.
Yes.
I get that.
Yeah.
Pretty much for me, my grandpa was the only male figure in my
Yeah.
life. Yeah.
I mean, it's not a bad thing. It's just, you know, it's not what a lot of others experience. Most
Yeah.
people will have a solid father figure to try to show them what a man should be.
Yeah, exactly. I think I'd rather have a father that wasn't there to not show me the worst parts of being a guy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's how I've felt for some time.
Oh, I mean, I've always felt that I turned out fine. So
Yeah.
I never like held it against anybody.
Yeah, that's how I feel too. If you could have any superpower, what would it be? Could be many.
Oh, there's so many superpowers. I don't think I'd want anything mental. I don't want any Tesseract stuff
Yeah.
going on.
Mind control or hearing people's thoughts would be probably drive you to madness.
Oh yeah. I think maybe like teleportation.
Okay.
I think it would be great to be able to go where I wanted.
Yeah.
Like, you know, just be a step away from visiting somebody on the other side of the world.
Yeah.
Or even in different states and stuff. Just be able to stay connected.
Do you think teleportation would make you lazy, or would you only use it for traveling?
I mean, I definitely do think that I would overuse it. I would, you know, go to the grocery store, just step through my portal or whatever.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it would save a lot of money, too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't have to use any gas.
Yep.
No, I wouldn't have to DoorDash or anything.
Yeah, I'm just there.
Yep.
Just roll out of bed and stand up and you're at McDonald's. Give me my food. I'm going back.
I'd have to, you know, I'd have to want to stay fit and stuff, for
Yeah.
sure. But,
Like, could you imagine if you're just like this giant blob that's just like teleporting places, just rolling around?
just literally the Blob from
Yeah.
X-Men.
Yeah.
But with teleportation powers.
Giant mass that just disappears in a blink. If you won the lottery, what would you do first?
Oh man, I think first, well, a lot of people would be like, "Oh, I would like help my parents pay off their house or whatever." But
Yeah.
but the house is already paid off for Rob and stuff.
I think most people answer with like investing or something most people would do, typically something smart, just so that the money goes a long way. But if you had to purchase something like a stupid purchase, you got stupid money, you're going to buy something just for yourself, what would it be?
Oh man, I think I would buy Epic Games and tell them to stop Fortnite. We're gonna cease Fortnite right now.
That's hilarious.
We're going back to Gears of War.
Yeah, put your resources there. Stop. That's funny.
Oh man, yeah. I mean, like honestly though, because I don't think investing would be the very first thing I would do with money like that. I mean, I would want to like get out of the apartment that we're in, like
Yeah.
get something, just a paid off house. 'Cause,
Yeah.
I mean, I figure most people that didn't already own a house would. I mean, investing is smart. It is what would get your money to run on the long term, but I don't think many people, if they ran into stupid money like you're talking, would just do that. I mean,
Yeah.
you would upgrade your house or your
For
car
sure.
or whatever. So
Your way of living would
Yeah.
change, like
And
home, car, everything.
I feel like instead of investing, like if depending on how stupid of money we're talking about, you could literally buy like a business
Yeah.
that's already running like fairly well and secure your future in that
Yeah.
way. So
Good answer.
yeah.
What's your favorite game?
Oh, favorite game.
Could be
of
board
all
game,
time. Well, I mean,
video game.
I do love board games, but video games have always been more my speed. When I was little, I was always a cheater in board games. It's too easy.
Too easy.
Oh man, yeah. Going back to who I would have dinner with, I think Metal Gear Solid has always been like my favorite franchise and stuff. The characters are really strong. The story is really strong. It took me
Yeah.
a while. It took me some growing up to actually fully understand some of the politics that were going on. In the
Yeah,
game,
definitely
but-
very heavily driven.
But the
politics.
gameplay and stuff is what really kept me, like, especially in Snake Eater
Yeah.
and stuff. So I'm actually really excited for that
the Delta
the remake to come through.
Yeah.
Just
Such a
updated
smart
graphics.
guy to think about trying new stuff, like weird gimmicks in the game, with the Metal Gear Solid having the take your controller out, put it in port 2.
Like what that, especially back then. Like,
Yeah.
who was thinking about that besides him?
Or the codec being on the back of the
Yeah, the back of the case,
Yeah.
the codec number to actually like advance in the game.
Yeah.
Like if you bought that thing secondhand or just threw away the
yeah, if
case,
you
you're
rented
just
it, you just,
screwed.
yeah.
You better have a network of people to talk to. And-
Yeah. Do you have like any, I guess, a list of 5 maybe favorite games?
Oh, for sure. I think number 1, I'll put if it's hard.
They don't have to be in any order.
Well, I just imagine like a lot of people in their top few games or whatever. There's probably always like a Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
Because those are always,
Timeless.
yeah, exactly, timeless. There's something that got people early,
Yeah.
hooked them right up. So I mean, like I said, I think Snake Eater is my favorite Metal Gear Solid, so that's gonna be there for sure.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite Final Fantasy is 8.
Nice.
That's gonna be there.
I wish that one got more love.
Oh, for sure, but it's just
Same with
how the
9.
story ended for 8, like with the weird coincidence of
Yeah.
everybody meeting back up, and
Yeah.
a lot of people also didn't like the junction system.
Yeah, had a lot of different stuff.
It did, and also like in 7 you had to build up your limit break. In
Yeah.
8 you just had to be low health, and it would just keep popping up. And you
Yeah.
could just kind of cheese it. So, so for 3 more, I know for sure Gears of War, probably 3
Nice.
is right there. I've always been a big fan of Gears of War. That's the only reason I ever owned an Xbox 360. Oh man, if you ask the younger me, then Halo would have been on there.
Yeah.
But I feel like Halo really fell. It's
Dropped
really
off
fallen.
after 3.
But I mean, if you look back, I mean, everybody has nostalgia about
Yeah.
back in 3 after you beat the game on Legendary and got the armor.
Yeah.
I don't remember what it was called.
I wish more games would do that.
Oh man,
Like
just-
instead of currency, like real life money for cosmetic stuff. Like,
yeah.
you wore armor that you had to earn.
Yeah, it's not all of the developers are really steeped in this microtransaction kind of environment we're in now for gaming, and it's just always about making that extra few bucks.
Yeah, I
here
can
and
sell you the
there.
game, but I could also sell you more.
Yeah, it's like, well, how about you sell us the game, let us earn some stuff for free, and then you release a DLC or something.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, exactly.
Get us to pay for something that's more of the game that you sold us.
That's what I miss. Like DLC actually feeling like an addition
Yeah.
and not just like all cosmetics and pay
Man,
$20 for stuff
it's
you're
so
not really
bad.
gonna use.
I don't know. I don't know. You might know what game started the whole battle pass system,
Oh man, I have to think about that.
because I think that's what started the whole microtransaction thing, when people found out like, hey, people are willing to pay
Extra.
an extra $10 or something for this battle pass that they still have to earn stuff through,
Yeah,
and it's like,
I think some of the free games started doing that, like Fortnite.
yeah, well, Fortnite's like the obvious, yeah, Fortnite battle pass. You got the kids singing about it.
Yeah.
So like,
Yeah.
that's why we're gonna cut that off when I buy Epic.
Yeah. Just make a complete game.
Okay, I still had two more games that I needed to name. Honestly, another one of the early games I played in my life. I think it's always gonna be a great. I always loved Worms.
Oh, hell yeah.
Just timeless. You
Yeah.
know, anytime they make a new one, you can't go wrong with adding a couple new weapons or whatever.
Yeah.
Like,
That
it's-
game's so much fun.
oh man, that's just always a great. And I mean, a lot of people would be mad because I'm not including any of the, real classics. I'm not like a big Mario fan. I'm not a big Zelda fan, so I
Yeah,
can't.
you like what you like.
Exactly, and I can't pander and be
Yeah.
like, oh yeah,
Yeah,
of
that was
course,
amazing. Yeah.
Zelda,
Yeah.
So for my last game, let's see. Honestly, as much as it hurts me to do it, I did have too much fun playing it back when it came out, because I think I was in junior high.
Mhm.
I'm gonna say the original Call of Duty Modern Warfare.
Yeah, that was
Because
great.
it was just the days I would go to school just thinking about coming home and playing it.
Yeah.
And I'd get back, join up. That was like the first game that had all of the class loadouts and stuff.
Yeah. That game, I feel like, changed Call of Duty itself
Oh,
forever.
I think that game is what brought Call of Duty into being a yearly release
Yeah.
franchise. Like,
Yep.
it did so well, and they saw how much people wanted just a very straight up simple, like, choose
Yeah, build your
loadout,
Yep.
get thrown in the map, get kill streaks,
yeah,
stuff
those
like
kill
that.
streaks, man.
I mean, I'm giving it to Modern Warfare, even though I think my favorite is actually World at War. I really enjoyed the old school stuff, but
Yeah.
I can appreciate what Modern Warfare did, and just the nostalgia of coming home from school.
Yeah, makes sense.
Playing it.
What's the best compliment you ever received?
I think I can't tell you who it was from, because I don't remember. But I do remember somebody telling me I was dependable before, and that felt really good.
Yeah, that's good.
It made me feel like, yeah, that's cool. that
Yeah,
this
I'll show up,
person
I'll be
this
there.
person feels like I'm somebody they can count on. I was like, yeah, that feels really good.
Nice. I like that. What food could you eat every day?
Oh man, I think for me, I don't get to eat it that often, but when I do get to eat it, I just completely enjoy it every time. I am a fiend for crab.
Crab.
I love crab.
Nice.
It's like a birthday only food because it's so expensive most of the time.
Yeah,
it's like
for sure.
$8 or $9 a pound here. But
Yeah.
when I do get some, I'll go to town.
Nice. What's the most recent funniest thing that's happened to you?
Oh man, it's popped into my mind instantly. Since we've gotten this new dog, when Ruth is at work, I'll take her and our other little dog out, and she is like super into cats, like trying to chase them.
Yeah.
Like, she starts really pulling and basically running in place, trying to pull me along. And the other day, not the other day, probably like a week ago now, we we're walking behind the apartments where the cats are, because just I like to give her a little bit of enrichment, let her see the cats and try to go after them. But I mean, I'm holding her back. But we rounded the corner and there was a few cats like sitting on somebody's porch area, and as soon as they noticed her, they all like just split off.
Yeah.
But there was this one white fluffy one that it like started running and it like looked back and hissed at her, and it darted full speed into a fence and just hit into the fence. It didn't even like prepare itself to climb or anything. It just bounced off the fence, was all dazed for a second, and then just ran along the fence and off.
Oh,
I
no.
was just like, I was standing there like, is this real?
Yeah, yeah.
Did I just see that? I thought cats were supposed to be graceful creatures.
That's funny. If someone wrote a book about you, what would it be called?
Oh man. It would probably be something involved in the many ups and downs of life.
I like it.
Yeah, I mean, because I feel like
straight to the point.
I've had a lot of great moments followed by disappointments and stuff.
Yeah.
So it really does just. It's a always changing thing. It's never gonna be always good. It's never gonna be always bad.
Yeah.
So.
Great words to live by.
Yeah.
What's the nicest thing someone's done for you?
Oh, what's the nicest thing somebody's done for me? Honestly, when I think about really cool things that made me really happy, I remember back when I was really young. I think I was like 4 going on 5 or something. One of my earliest memories was I was going to preschool at that time.
Yeah.
And we were in the room just doing our normal thing, and then all of a sudden I saw like Rob and Faith and my mom come in to pick me up really early, and they were taking me to Hollywood Connections for the day, and I was like, whoa, that's like unheard of.
Yeah.
I was like, what the heck?
That's cool. Do you have a guilty pleasure movie, TV show, or anything on social media?
Oh gosh, I do have a I have a lot of guilty pleasure shows for sure, because I'm kind of a weeb. I watch a lot of anime. There are some really garbage ones. I can acknowledge that they're garbage, but I can still also enjoy them.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's just, I have a lot of those types of things, but when it comes to movies, the one I can always fall back on, one of my first movies that scared the heck out of me when I was little, but I've just come to love it so much, I can always watch Jurassic Park.
Oh, hell yeah.
It's just, that's always there.
Yeah. It's a good one.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite travel story?
Oh, I mean, anytime I'm talking about travel nowadays, I'm talking about my trip to Japan.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
just the most like out there, like random kind of trip I did. And well, not random, I can't say that because I actually had a purpose to go and visit John, but we just did a lot of stuff. Well, I was there for a long time. I was there for like 6 weeks or something.
Yeah.
And I mean, yeah, there was many times of walking around with leaving my passport at the house and seeing a cop or something, being like, oh gosh, I hope he doesn't
Yeah, today's gonna be the day.
Yeah, he's gonna be like, where's your passport, son?
Yeah.
And I'll be like, sir, please.
Yeah.
Don't you see I'm one of you?
Yeah. Yeah.
But oh man, I think my favorite times traveling was just being there and having nights out with John and Chad, or even if Saki wanted to come, doing a little bit of like bar hopping or whatever. And just, experiencing like real people there that was there at the end of their day, end of their work day or whatever.
Yeah.
Just kind of unwinding with their friends. And like, it's a very different experience.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a very like, as much as people like to think of America as like a very social place, like it doesn't feel like it a lot of the time. Like you have to like hunt out the events.
Definitely.
But Japan, you know, everybody's walking around. And,
Yeah.
you know, bars are all like really hot spots. There's so many of them around, and they're designed to, you know, they're not as big as the ones here, but there's so many more.
Mm-hmm.
So, and each one is like a different experience.
Yeah.
So it's just
Fun stuff.
it's really interesting. Like, you visited them over there, right?
Yeah. I'm planning on it later this year.
Yeah.
I really want to for Halloween.
Oh man, that's when I was there. I was there for Halloween. We spent the weekend right before Halloween in Universal, and that was really cool until the nighttime fell. And you know, I don't remember what they're called, like when the people in the costumes come out to scare.
Yeah.
I don't know, but that's when it got annoying, because, you know, there's groups of people huddling around these guys, and the Japanese girls trying to be cute for the guys they're with or whatever, and getting really scared, and I'm walking behind them, and then they just back up into me really fast, and I'm just like, please.
Please. That's funny. Have you ever had a crush on a cartoon character?
I feel like I feel like I definitely have, like, back when I was little, and I like the first time I saw Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Jessica Rabbit.
When you see Jessica Rabbit, you know, she's the whole package. And also when I was like even younger than that, because before I was allowed to watch Roger Rabbit, I used to watch the original Space Jam.
Oh, okay.
And
so Lola Bunny,
man.
Yeah.
They really made her a little too seductive
Yeah.
in that movie for kids.
Yeah, for kids, yeah.
But,
that's funny.
yeah, I feel like a lot of people probably had their first cartoon crushes on, like,
stuff they watch. Yeah.
well, like a lot of people in my generation, at least, I imagine, would like be watching Pokemon or something.
Oh,
and
yeah.
see one
Like
of the
Misty or
like, but
Officer Jenny.
oh man, actually, Officer Jenny is,
Yeah.
she's probably the best out of those original three.
If you were a ghost, how would you haunt people?
Oh, how would I haunt people? I'd probably just do it comedically. Just try to make people think that they're
Going crazy a little bit.
yeah. I mean, I don't want to actually
Yeah.
mentally scar them or anything, but yeah, just little things here and there to make them think like, what the fuck?
Question themselves.
Exactly. I
That's
don't want them to actually go crazy.
Yeah. How do you like to be comforted when you're sad or upset?
Honestly, I just like to have the company. Like, it's not necessarily about actual physical comforting, just knowing that somebody's there with me.
Yeah.
And like can understand what I'm going through in the moment. That's pretty comforting to me.
That's good. What do you do when no one else is around?
That's probably when I do a lot of my thinking and stuff. When I'm just alone, have some time on my hands.
Yeah.
That's when I do a lot of my thinking about what I want. And I mean, I can't say that I've never had like hindsight thinking too, but
Yeah.
I try to stay away from that as much as possible because it's useless.
Yeah, for sure.
I like to stay on like the more useful thoughts. But yeah, that's probably like the main thing I do when I'm alone. Lately is working on the course too. But
Yeah. Nice. What do you consider your best physical feature?
honestly, I until last year, after I was going to the gym for a while, I would have said I don't like any of my physical features, but I don't know. I developed my arms a good bit, and you know, I've been told my calves have always been pretty
Nice.
like pretty sturdy, because I mean they better be. They've been hauling my ass around for so long.
Yeah, you're pretty tall too.
I'm tall, but I grew both ways. I
Yeah.
grew upwards and outwards. So
That's funny. What does friendship mean to you?
see, this is one of the questions that gets down to it for me, because I've had bad luck forming my own friendships. Because as you might have noticed, as somebody that's known me for a long time and stuff, I have brought in my own friends, but they never stayed. Most of the friends that I've had long term have been people that I was introduced to through John.
Oh yeah.
And so friendship to me is, is somebody you can trust. That's like front and foremost for me, because I've had so many bad instances with just untrustworthy people.
Yeah.
I've been stolen from. I'm not to say John hasn't, but he hasn't had that problem nearly as much, and so trust is a must.
Yeah.
Somebody that you can just enjoy their company. They can enjoy your company. You don't have to have any outstanding plans.
Yeah. Just come over, hang out.
Yeah, just
Watch a movie.
Hang out with, like, you don't need to be doing something super entertaining. Just spend your day.
Yeah.
And lastly, I think it kind of goes with trust. Is like somebody that you can count on, that would be willing to help you out in a tight spot. Like, I mean, we're not all perfect.
Yeah.
So sometimes a bad situation might arise. You might get arrested or something. Somebody who's willing to help you out a little bit. I mean,
through all the good times and the bad.
Exactly. And I mean, you would be willing to do that for them, I assume, if they're
for
good
sure.
friends. So
Yeah, I'd die for all my friends.
As long as it's not, a constant thing. As long as you're not calling them every week, like, "Hey, I'm getting canned again."
Yeah. Then you're the problem.
Exactly.
What do you fear the most?
Ooh. Honestly, I fear. I mean, I'll get more onto a personal level with it, because if I'm just going like in general, like I'm really afraid of falling in heights and stuff like that. But on a more personal level, like I am afraid of like being alone. More not like I can be in a room full of people and still feel alone.
Yeah.
And so I fear being alone in the way that I don't have anybody that I can share like a connection with. It's
very real.
It's important to me. Like, it's scary to feel like you're not understood.
Yeah.
So
that's a good. I would fear that stuff, like being around people that if you're going through something, not being able to express what's going on mentally.
Yeah.
And even if it's like people you've known a long time, there is like a point of, am I sharing too much with them, or what am I trying to say without having to say it? And having friends that kind of can tell something's wrong.
Yeah.
I think that's really good.
Well, and also like sometimes you need to. This is why you need like a really close group of friends too, like people that you know who they are for sure.
Yeah.
Because there can be people who, they know what your viewpoints are on things, so they can act in that specific way when they're around you.
Yeah.
You need people who are like genuine.
Mm-hmm.
You know who they are, and you know that they'll share your thoughts on something that might upset you.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to have a friend that's like a little bit closeted, like racist or something.
Yeah, for sure.
You're having this problem and they can't relate at all.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, yeah,
feel very lucky that all of us are very similar.
Yeah, I mean, it's really good to
Yeah.
know who, like, feel confident that you know who a person is.
Yeah. Good people in your life.
Exactly.
Getting closer to the last part. Got just a couple questions, and then the last part is going to ask you questions based on previous people.
Okay.
So at the very end of that, then I will have you add to this list of, if you can think of a question.
Okay.
So this one is, how can I be a better friend to you?
You in specific?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I'll just hear from you more, honestly. I mean, I know everybody's got their own stuff going on, but yeah, just every now and again. I mean,
Just hop on Discord with you guys.
yeah, I mean, to be fair, I haven't been a great friend in that regard. I haven't talked with Chad and Paul and Richie like reliably for a while because I haven't been up that late lately. Like, because Chad's in that
Different
other time zone, and Paul kind of
It's similar.
he's the night owl too. So
Yeah.
I haven't been getting on myself much.
Yeah, I think my birthday coming up pretty soon.
That'll be
I think
good.
it'd be good to have everyone together again, and then I'll probably talk about the tournament stuff
Okay.
down the road. So I would like input from more people, I think, in that regard.
Yeah.
Anything you wish we could do together? Anything you've tried or want to try? Is there anything you've wanted to try but like too afraid to go alone?
Oh man. I mean, in the past, I wanted to try like some different shows, but at the same time, I'm starting to feel a little. Even I'm starting. Like, I'm the young person in the group for the most part, and even I'm starting to feel a little old for
to go to
shows
Yeah.
and stuff. Like, I've only ever been to like the smaller stuff too, so I'm just like, it would be cool, but at the same time, I'm like, I don't know. That stuff goes late.
Yeah, yeah. That's how I feel. Like, unless I'm preparing for it by like sleeping throughout the day, and then I'm like, all my energy is gonna go to this one thing.
Oh man!
But even while you're there, you're like, I'm still kind of just tired.
Well, you see all these people with all the energy, and they've been up all day. And
Yeah.
you're like, I remember those times.
Yeah. So these questions are previous. If you can't answer it, you can just pass.
All right.
What color underwear are you wearing?
I think they're blue.
Nice. Relationship goals.
Oh, I mean, honestly, things feel so right with the girl I'm with right now that I can see marrying her.
Oh, I love that. That's
Like
great.
in the next year or two, after if I can find a job with this career path that I'm looking at and feel stable, then
That's great.
that could be in the future.
Yeah, I love that. If you could travel anywhere in the world with no limit on expense, where and what would you do?
Ooh, that's a good one. I don't know. It's weird just because having gone on my trip to Japan now, like, because that would have been my obvious answer before, but now I've gone and I've experienced like a decent bit.
Yeah.
So now I'm like, like Australia would be cool, but at the same time, I don't want to deal with all that stuff. I don't wanna
Everything
die.
wants you dead.
I don't want to die. I don't know. I think it would be pretty cool to go to like another technology epicenter, go to like South Korea or like Singapore, just one of those just bustling like
Taiwan. Yeah, probably like Asia.
yeah, somewhere. It would still be Asia for sure.
Yeah, that'd be cool. What was your first amusement park?
Oh, I mean that one. I think for anybody born in Utah, the only amusement park is always Lagoon. So,
this one's kind of a question directed at yourself. Who is the most important person in your life, and why do you choose yourself?
and why do I choose myself?
Yeah.
So it's guiding me to say that the most important person in my life is myself.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I mean, I guess I guess that is kind of a true statement, because
Yeah.
without yourself, then you don't have your life. But
Yeah. You wouldn't be here. you
yeah,
know?
exactly. I mean, you might, but you would just be a vegetable.
Yeah. Or like Weekend at Bernie's.
Oh my! Oh gosh. Yeah, I mean, it's yourself, because you're the one that's choosing to do right or wrong. Hopefully, right.
Yeah.
And to better yourself and the people around you. It's kind of a self-continuing cycle. If you are that person, then good things will happen to people that around you, because you're gonna try and make it so.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I know that's not a super thought out answer.
It's
We're
good.
kind of doing snap decisions
Yeah.
here, but that's what I got.
How do you go about showing love?
I mean, I'm a pretty physical person when it comes to showing love, even with my family and stuff. A lot of hugs and stuff.
Yeah.
I also like to, verbally help. Like, if somebody's having a problem, I'll talk them through it. Like, I've always been a good talker when it comes to people in distress.
Yeah.
And yeah, just I like to always make sure people know how important they are.
Yeah.
Like, to me, to others, that you're never in it alone for the
I love
most
that.
part.
That's good. If the second toe on their foot is bigger than their big toe, is that a deal breaker?
I don't think I would notice. I'm not a foot person. I don't look at feet, man.
What in life are you most passionate about and why?
I mean, I like to say that I'm really passionate about gaming and stuff, but I think I'm the most passionate about the people in my life, because without them, I would not be anywhere
Pushing
near
through.
the person I am.
Yeah.
And yeah, it would make life infinitely harder without the people around you that
Yeah.
you've even without knowing, you've come to rely on.
Yeah.
So it's the people for sure.
I feel that with like this interview stuff lately. It's been really nice to be able to talk with everyone again.
Yeah.
It's gone like maybe a year or two for some people, like since the last time I've talked to them.
Yeah.
And that doesn't feel good to me. I'm like, man, like time's just going. Like,
Well, and with people like you who have, you've made connections with a lot of people.
Yeah.
And it's hard to be able to make time
yeah.
for all these different people. It's you do your best.
Yeah.
That's all you can do.
Yeah. I think I had to kind of work on a lot of myself mentally, making sure I was in a good place before working on things that I wanted to.
Yeah.
It was never like going to align, but a big part of it like this year was just doing the things because I want to, and not just listening to that part of my brain's like, no, you don't have to. You shouldn't do that.
And to be completely fair too, like you feel bad, but it is a two-way
Yeah.
street too. Like, if you haven't heard from them for that long, then it's also because they were busy, or
Yeah. Life just continues. Like
exactly. It sucks, but time goes, it marches on.
Yeah.
and it doesn't wait up.
Did you drink water today?
Oh yeah, a little tiny bit, the smallest bit.
Are you going to make sure you consistently hydrate with water? And not,
I
like,
always drink a lot of water.
That's
The
me
only time I'm not only drinking water is in the mornings, if I have an iced coffee.
Oh yeah,
It'll be one a day, one iced coffee a day.
nice. If you could go back in time and talk to your 10-year-old self, what would you tell yourself?
Don't get on the trampoline.
That's a good one.
Oh man.
This one, have you heard of the trolley problem?
Yeah.
So this one is, one side is your family and loved ones, and the other side is the world. Which one would you save?
I feel like I would just go selfish on that one, because I mean
Yeah.
I have a lot of people like that
Yeah.
I consider my family and loved ones, and I mean, even if you decided to save the world, I don't think that people will give you any recognition for that.
100%. Yeah.
So
I
it's
feel,
like I don't. At that point, I would rather keep all of the people that I do have these connections with. And,
Yeah.
the world be damned.
yeah. Good answer. If you could go back in time, what would you change?
That's another one that's kind of like, are you going to be selfish about it and change something for yourself, or are you going to try to be humanitarian about it? I'm almost curious to know what other people have said for this one.
Um,
If you had somebody be like, I would go back and
Kill Hitler.
kill Hitler, or have you had somebody that's like, oh, I'd go back and evacuate the towers or something?
Yeah. I think some of them have been like personal, like if they went back and could talk to someone again, or some just wouldn't change anything because
Yeah. I mean, yeah,
you are who you are today based on the decisions of the world around you and stuff you chose for yourself. So it could vary. I mean,
Well, if I could change one thing about like going back in the past, I think I would just keep it selfish to, I'm okay with the world and the state it's in right now. I mean, it's not great, but I
Yeah.
don't think there's much I could do if I went back in time.
yeah,
So
one person just sound like a crazy
exactly.
person.
Be like, oh yeah, you look like freaking
I'm from the future.
You
And they're
look
like, oh
like
yeah,
the Doc,
yeah,
the crazy hair and everything.
Yeah.
But I think I'd just go back to my younger self and try to instill in myself, you got to take more chances with
Yeah.
things. Like,
it's good.
things can't always be so calm.
Mhm.
Like, they're not gonna stay calm. So shoot your shot,
Yeah,
take chances.
take chances. Do you know much about the hockey team?
What, the Utah Hockey Club?
Yeah. Do you know about like them trying to find a name?
I mean, I know everybody was very disappointed when they decided to go with the Utah Hockey Club.
yeah. This one my uncle was telling me. One of the suggested name was Wasatch.
I mean, it's better than Utah Hockey Club.
yeah, but apparently, first result for what does Wasatch mean comes up with this Reddit post of it meaning frozen penis style.
Oh, that's good. That means we should have went with that. That's
Yeah.
the only right answer.
But I guess in the Ute it means low place in high mountains. But I just thought it was funny.
That is funny. You're not mistaken.
Yeah. Swig or fizz? Have you been to those places to get a drink?
I have not. I've seen them. I've never actually gone.
That's okay. What color is your toothbrush?
Right now it's orange.
Nice. And have you checked in with yourself lately?
No, not really.
Are you going to?
Yeah, I think I can probably make some time for that. I can open up a spot in my schedule for myself.
Okay, the last part is, do you have a question to ask the next person?
That's a good one.
Could be anything. Silly.
Yeah, I know. I'm thinking if I want to just do silly or. Okay, yeah, we'll just go silly. We'll just say like, what's your favorite breed of dog?
Okay.
Hey, I mean, it can say a lot about a person.
Yeah, that's true. All right, Cam, thank you so much for joining me.
Yes,
this was
sir.
a lot of fun.
It was good to talk to you.
Yeah. All right. Goodbye.
Bye.